Ohio company towns back here because if I can remember to post these things in order, this will be the second one of the day. So we're going 2 for 1. That first one's just nothing compared to my usual distracted, rambling style, just a few minutes. But this one's probably going to be substantially longer in a way. So, last weekend, just a few days ago, really. Says we'll come out here and probably find the old furnace leavings of Erie, Ohio. And that's where I'm at. I'm here at the layer of Ohio Company Towns, here at this particular building in Erie, Ohio, in Jackson County, current modern day Jackson, Ohio, and whatever. So anyway, this is the Ohio Company Town layer, right? Now, I thought that I knew where it was. I might know where it is, but unfortunately, I either need to stop drinking, which is possible, or I need to remember that the things that I remember could be over 30 years old now, and perhaps stuff has changed that I don't recall. I don't know. But I'll go ahead and I'll show you this one spot here, right here. Now, this is right beside the path. It's where the old rail bed, which is the actual formal road that I usually do these videos from, up there, around that curve-ish, whatever you want to call it, right there. Right there's where the old road is, and everything. That right there, I thought looked a certain way, and I believe it did about 30 or so years ago. I'd really rather not go into exacts on this one, just for the sake that I've already bought some beers at home, and I don't want to stop and get any more thinking about how long it could have been. This is okay. But the reason that I thought that maybe there was something going on out here, I read up that this place had a furnace, and I thought, wow, I think that I might know where that is, and it actually makes sense because of blah 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 blah. And I thought it was that pile of stuff right there. Now, here's the thing: I've been coming down here not knowing anything about I didn't know the name or anything about I used to live about, I don't know, maybe 4 blocks up the street, more or less. So I was down in this area with a bunch of my extremely well-behaved future engineer and scientist friends, along with myself, of course, the loser of the group. And we're down here often. I think that what it is that I believe, and I could be very wrong here, but I believe that what's happened is that I'm remembering what it looked like when I was a kid coming down here. And the rocks have probably become part of that giant mound now, due to further development down here that's happened in the last, since then. There really wasn't a reason for me, in my opinion. There wasn't really a reason for me to come back here after I was about 15. So, like I said, it's been pretty close to 30 years. Kind of, sort of. Still got over a year, but look, you'd never guess or anything, but it wouldn't. 15 at the latest. So I'm thinking that's what it is. Right there is the end of the line. You have this path that came down through here, which I believe is probably part of and then this out and through here, maybe even where those trees are. It would be part of. That hill wouldn't be there. It would have looked a lot different. It would have looked a lot different, but it was a small one, so it wouldn't have needed to be like a Keystone furnace or something like that, Madison furnace, limestone furnace, any of them, because those were fairly large for their time back in the day. This was a small one, so I believe with that backing and everything, with the absence of that mound entirely, and all that, you could have had it right there, and you could probably get out here with a like a metal detector and pick up slag out here pretty quick. I do not have one, and unfortunately, because of things out of my control, I don't have enough time to go over there and start kicking stuff around and seeing if I can find any today. But I believe that's where this is. I think that's why, if I'm going to walk up here slowly. There's a truck out here or something. I like to stay away from other people, just in general, but in particular whenever you see a highway over there, yeah, but hell, I can sit here, bleed out, and have people eating on me before anybody would notice. Some guy in a pickup truck. I was kind of creep on down here and give him his berth. But see, this is the road. I don't think there's anybody in it. Sorry, guy. It is what it is. But this is, you will remember this spot, no doubt, from. But I think it was here. Well, some of it. This would have been the one way in, one way out. How they would have gotten stuff in and gotten stuff out on this road right here. Because it's the rail bed before it was a road. They may have had two tracks back here. I don't know, but they would have had to have at least one. Would have been loaded up here, and then, as you can see, you are several feet elevated, even from this spot. And I believe that things would have been fed in from approximately there, and then you would have your little trick out that way with the sand or whatever. You'd be dumping the metal into or onto, whatever you want to call it, and clearing off the slag and other types of issues and blah 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 blah. Create maybe pig iron bar type deal down there, probably. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe. I think that this is probably the best area that I know of back here so far. That because there's a spur off that way a little ways and stuff. There's some other stuff out here that would give me the impression this would probably be it. Because I can remember a bunch of very large rocks that were kind of in that area right there, which is basically what I was showing you as part of the mound when we were back over there with the Rolls Royce of rediscovery. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. So as you can see, so we're already down probably almost a yard from the road, but and then of course at the time, I imagine without all that filled dirt and everything else like that, there was also some differences. So you're looking at something that you could have had a little like a built-up building, and then just a couple of feet lower, right in this area than the bottom of the mound is right now, and it would definitely work. It'd be a small one, but they always said it was a small one. I'm guessing somewhere in here. It'd be my guess. Now, I don't know, but that's my guess. There were enormous rocks here 30 years ago. Never knew what they were. Never cared. Okay, it was just so what, But there were enormous rocks, and I believe that they were the furnace at one time, or at least most of it. This place floods out so often. Now it's not like the slosh of an ocean or something like that, but you got to figure getting pulled even gently several times a year, this way and that way, is going to distribute even large rocks after a point. We've had some doozies, just that I know of in my lifetime, and this place has basically been kaput for far longer than that. So I'm guessing this is where it is. Doesn't look like what I remembered it. I'm pretty certain I know what I'm talking about. Thing is hell, all the people that I know of that was back here that I could call, hell, are all hard to get a hold of now, kind of like me. Oh well. But no, but seriously, I think this is what, I think that's where it is. My theory. If not here, from everything that I've been walking around and I've seen around here, I wouldn't have the slightest idea. The only way that I would have, it'd have to be a pile of rocks that were of convincing concentration. Maybe look around for some scatter or something like that, and kind of be, I guess, generous or something, and use your imagination, and see. Otherwise, that would be it. But this would be the spot that I thought, and it does have a lot of signs that of it being very flat in some of these areas right here. It is extremely flat right here, and then you can see back in there that it does twist and turn, or not twist and turn, but it dips and stuff a bit more over that way. Very, very flat here. I don't see any evidence of any post holes or anything like that in any of this. You see it catches, there's like a depression type looking thing right in here, and it seems like no, this could be where it eventually, and of course now that right there, I can tell you that right there is where people try to get up with bikes and motorcycles, stuff like that. I know that for a fact. Seen it many times. Half the fun of coming down here with any of your very best friends, or to come down here and watch them bust their head like a dumbass out here trying to do that over and over again. My God Almighty, I'll tell you what, I'd hate to try to even think about taking one of them falls right now, and so would they, because none of them are as good a shape I am. So but see, now if you use some imagination, there's only two things that this right here, it seems like to me, and this is the problem with call it video, I guess you say, because I can't show you that this spot right here, now that's the bike, dig right there, okay, but this spot right here looks like it is one of two things. It is either a drift mine, which I don't think it is, or this is the specific spot where it would have been the stone part, the part that you would see at like Jefferson Furnace or Limestone, Madison, Keystone, that spot, this right here, because it has a definite dip in. It could be a filled in drift mine, but maybe not. It looks awful weird because it's almost concave, and that would be perfect for trying to keep some of the heat to a small furnace. But I don't know, and it seems like it's universally graded. There's no evidence of it being packed in there and then settling occurring that would create any kind of, especially near the top of what looks like that little bit of gravel right there. But my guess is that this is probably where it was. Maybe potentially. Now, there's another thing that could have happened is they could have just gotten rid of the rocks. They could have just scooped them out and got rid of them. I know there's been some alterations back here, but I'm not sure exactly how much. I know there's been some. But that would be this would be a spot. Of course, this is in this area right here. Portions of which would be pretty good to catch, perform that duty. And then see up there, now you can see way far away that water tower or whatever it is. But you're talking about, I'm standing down here. I'd say that the flat portion or whatever, for example, at the top of this hill, several feet up. Of course, it wouldn't be exact like it is right now or anything, but some alterations. Who knows? Who knows? See, if they took the stones away, that throws things off a little bit. But I know they've done some stuff back here since then. Maybe I'm wrong, because that damn bicycle path, that's still right there. Maybe they just took the rocks away. So here you go. You get to hear me do my method right here and then contradict myself. Shows you exactly how certain of all this stuff can be sometimes. But no, I didn't even think about them taking all that stuff away, because it's like, that was a pile of rocks back here. I would just leave it. I don't know what the motivation for that was. I figured, I know that they have done some stuff out here because they've distributed a whole bunch of stuff that in these piles that are no longer here. So there used to be a lot of big piles of stuff back up there on the road and some other places, just big piles of like gravel and other things. Whatever. But yeah, so this looks like it. This is probably where it is. Well, I know the stones were in this area right here, but I'd say this is probably where it was. Now it's totally gone. It is totally gone, and it might even be scraped up. One of these days here, they usually come out here and mow this thing at some point here in the next little bit. They might come out here and mow this and allow for a bit better exploration. Can't see anything obvious, but the thing is if it's supposed to be a wooden structure and it's from the mid to basically the middle to maybe potentially late 1800s, there might not be. Or you just have to get lucky and just find the posts just happen to be where that is. And see, if you see all this right down in here, it might be that one of them might be there, but you'd have to literally just rip this stuff out or dig through it. Seen a rabbit over that way earlier, so I'm gonna go back in here and see if well, this actually took a turn, because I got down here and I thought, well, hell, the rocks are gone or something. They've been put in this hill. What the hell? There's nothing down here. But then I started to think about it, and so I started to think about it, and now I'm back on the hunt, so to speak. Got themselves. I don't know if you can see that down there. It's that's another old rock, like a culvert or something down there. That's wild. Of course, there's absolutely no reason to have it down here now, so you know how old it is. Why would you have it down there? Look at this. What are you culverting, and what for? That's older. That's older than that highway over there. Way older. That's been a completely different era. But, so I believe that's my theory. And we'll see. I'm going to also, well, actually I better save that for another video. But there's going to be some big movements soon. If you guys are interested in coming out here with me to Erie in Jackson, Ohio, which is in Jackson County. I haven't said it before. Don't recollect I mentioned. But if you are interested, I'm going to try to set up something like this at some point fairly soon. Look on the regional, I'm in Jackson, so figure all of the regional Facebooks, maybe, we'll see. You might find an announcement going on there. Look on the YouTube, Ohio YouTube, of course, for the YouTube for my channel, Ohio Company Towns. So do that as well. Subscribe, comment, whatever, I guess. And we will see you soon. Hopefully, literally. Maybe even literally. Soon. Right here. Or actually, close by. And on that note, have a great one.